Hey friends, in our last two videos, I shared with you about celebrations and we read about some different celebrations that happen in other countries. And I don't know if you know this, some of you do because you're celebrating it right now. It is the festival of Ramadan. So people who um, are Muslim, that is their religion, they are celebrating Ramadan. And I have this very beautiful book that I want to read to you that's going to tell you what Ramadan is and why and how people celebrate Ramadan. And this will be a two-parter video, I'm not sure, but I used to live in Iraq in the Kurdish region. And so I was in Iraq for a couple of Ramadans, and it's really interesting. Like during the day, everything just kind of shuts down, and it's kind of like how things are here now. Not a lot of cars are out, a lot of businesses are closed. And then at night when the sun sets, everybody, like the whole place comes to life, and people bust out picnics, and they invite friends and family over for these huge meals, and they eat all night long, and they go to the parks and they go to the malls. And it's I could kind of compare it a little bit to what it's like right before Christmas. So all the Christmas shopping that's going on, and everyone's just, it's like kind of crazy, but in a fun way. So this is called The Night of the Moon, a Muslim holiday story by Henna Khan, and it's illustrated by Julie Pashkis. Here's the title page. It was bedtime, and Yasmin waited for her mom to read her story. Sorry, I gotta get the angle right. It was bedtime, and Yasmin waited for her mom to read her a story as she did every night. But this night was different. Mom came into her room and pulled back the curtains that hung over the window. "Come and take a look at the moon," she said. "What's so special about the moon?" Yasmin wondered. "See for yourself," Mom said. "That teeny little line?" Yasmin asked as she squinted into the darkness. "I can hardly see it." "That's because it's the moon's first crescent," Mom said. "It means a new moon is beginning." A new moon, a new month, Yasmin asked, "but it's only the 17th. "It's a new month in the Islamic calendar, which is based on the moon," Mom explained. "Long ago, people used the shape of the moon to keep track of days. They'd watch the moon grow bigger till it was full, then smaller till it disappeared. When the moon reappeared, a new month would begin." "Like tonight," Yasmin said. "Exactly. And do you know what month is starting tonight?" Mom asked. "The month of Ramadan," Yasmin answered. Yasmin had been looking forward to Ramadan. It was a time filled with delicious food, new clothes, lots of parties, and her favorite thing ever, presents. At school the next day, Yasmin was proud when her class had a discussion about Ramadan. Her teacher, Mr. Sanchez, told the class, "During the month of Ramadan, many Muslim people fast each day." "Does anyone know what that means?" Yasmin did. "It means you don't eat or drink anything all day long," she shared. "You wake up before sunrise to eat, and then you don't have anything else until the sun goes down." Everyone had lots of questions about fasting. They especially wanted to know if kids had to do it. "Little kids don't fast," Yasmin said, "but maybe I'll try it for a day next year." Yasmin imagined a day without lunch, or snacks, or even a drink of water. That afternoon, while Yasmin was with her little brother, Bilal had snacks at home. Yasmin asked her mom if fasting was hard. "It can be hard sometimes, but I don't mind," Mom answered. "Fasting helps me remember to be grateful for the food I have and to be more patient." As the sun slowly started to go down in the sky, Yasmin helped Mom pile a plate high with fresh dates and prepare a pitcher of milk. These were the traditional foods to eat after the fast. So dates are a fruit that grow on like a tall palm tree. Finally, sunset came, and Dad passed around the dates and said a little prayer. Everyone bit into the sweet, chewy fruits together, and the first fast of Ramadan was over. Then it was time for a special dinner with everyone's favorite foods. That weekend, Yasmin's family went to her cousin Hamza's house for the first of many Ramadan parties. Her aunt and uncle served a big dinner of beef kebabs, grilled vegetables, and fresh bread. Then there were tons of desserts, everything from chocolate fudge cake to rice pudding. After dinner, Yasmin peeked out the window at the moon. It looked like it was stuffed with good food, since it was now a thick crescent. Ooh, look at that show don't tell language. The moon looked like it was stuffed with good food. The next week, Mom and Dad spent hours in the kitchen cooking up huge pots of food to bring to the mosque. Yasmin and Bilal made cupcakes too. So the mosque is here in this picture, and that is where they go to pray, where Muslims go to pray. And it usually has separate sides for men and women. So the men will pray on one side, and the women will pray on another side. Ramadan is a time for sharing, Dad explained. Not everyone has as much to eat as we do. The mosque was filled with people that weekend, and soon all of the cupcakes were gone. As Yasmin walked outside after evening prayers, she felt good about helping others. She looked up at the moon, which was half full now, like a half-eaten cupcake. So, here's the moon, like a half-eaten cupcake. The days of Ramadan quickly flew by. Every night, Yasmin looked for the moon. One night, when Grandma was visiting, she and Yasmin went for a walk after dinner. Together, they saw that the moon was a brilliant circle. "It's so pretty," said Yasmin, wishing she could see it closer. "Subhanallah," said Grandma. That was what Grandma said whenever she saw something wonderful. It was her way of being thankful for beautiful things. The full moon meant that Ramadan was already half over. Yasmin couldn't believe it. The next weekend, it was time for Yasmin's family to have a Ramadan party. Lots of friends and family came over in the evening for a big backyard barbecue. Dad set up a trampoline in the yard, and Yasmin, Bilal, and Hamza took turns leaping towards the stars, pretending they were on the moon. Meanwhile, a real half moon shone in the sky. Over the next week, Yasmin watched as the moon slowly changed to a crescent and then to a thin line. The month of Ramadan was coming to an end. Finally, one night, the sky was moonless. As hard as she looked in the blackness outside her window, Yasmin couldn't find the moon at all. "There's no more moon," Yasmin announced to her family. Yasmin couldn't wait for tomorrow, when the moon's first crescent would appear for a very special night, the night of the moon. The night of the moon meant that Ramadan was over, and the following day would be the holiday of Eid. When the sun set the next evening, Yasmin's family went to the community center for a night of the moon celebration. Decorated with lights and shiny balloons, the place looked magical. There were lots of stalls where people sold clothes, jewelry, toys, snacks, and gifts from different countries. Yasmin bought some green metal bangles from India that jingled on her wrist. So those are bracelets. Bilal got a red hat with a big tassel that came from Turkey. So here, and this is the tassel, the little strings coming out of the top. And Mom picked out new clothes for the family to wear on Eid, including a pretty green dress for Yasmin. Later that night, Yasmin had her hands painted with henna paste in a beautiful pattern with moons and stars. The paste left a dark orange dye on her palms that would last for about a week and then fade away. Yasmin was excited to show her friends at school. So henna is like a natural it's a plant, and women do this for Ramadan, for weddings, for celebrations, and it's like temporary tattoos, and it is so beautiful and intricate, the designs that are drawn on their hands and feet. When the family got home that night, Yasmin caught a glimpse of the moon's first crescent, so thin it was like a faint line of chalk in the sky. The next morning, Yasmin woke to the sound of Bilal shouting, "Eid Mubarak!" This was the traditional greeting of Eid, a very happy day for Muslims all over the world. After a big breakfast together, Yasmin and her family dressed up in their new clothes and went to the mosque for Eid prayers. Everyone gathered on the lawn to wish each other a happy holiday and exchanged the 3 hugs of Eid. Then Yasmin's family visited friends and relatives for the rest of the day. Everywhere they went, Yasmin and Bilal received little gifts of money called Eidi. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong to you Arabic speakers. For Yasmin, though, the best part of the holiday, better than the henna, the new dress, and all the Eidi money she got, was the surprise she got at bedtime. Mom and Dad called her into the family room and handed her a big box wrapped in shiny silver paper. "It's an Eid present, Yasmin," Mom said, smiling, "to help you watch for Ramadan to come again next year." Yasmin tore the paper off the box. It was a huge telescope. Why do you think her parents gave her a telescope? What do we know about Yasmin in the story that makes sense of why her parents would give her a telescope? I'm thinking it's because every night she likes to look at the sky and check the moon. And so they're seeing this as something that she is interested in. So they got her a telescope so she'd be able to see more things. She stayed up late with Dad, putting it together and setting it up in her bedroom. Then she took a look at the sky from the window, and this is what she saw. "Subhanallah," Yasmin whispered as she looked at the wonderful full moon. She couldn't wait for Ramadan next year. So, can you remember from the story what are some of the things that Yasmin and her family did for Ramadan? I remember that they would go visit relatives and eat, that she got new clothes, that they would fast, so they wouldn't eat food until the sunset. And the first thing they would eat after, when they started to eat, were dates and milk. So I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope it helps you to understand more about Ramadan and the way our Muslim friends celebrate this holiday that is so important to their culture. Thank you.